Okay, guys, so last week, first week of school, we went over the different characteristics of life. We went through all 8 of those. And this week, we're going to start off with going over the scientific method. But before that, we got to do a few little things, and we'll get into that at the end of the class today, the scientific method. But so I found this picture online, and I found it very interesting because the guy has these cheetah legs, because obviously he lost his legs one way or another. And we're going to start off today talking about what all living organisms share, or what is common to all living organisms. Now, if you're talking about what's common to all humans, you're going to start saying, oh, everyone has eyes, or everyone has a head, and stuff like that. For this example, you might say, oh yeah, all humans have legs. Well, this guy does not. So, when we're talking about what things are common to all organisms, we're going to stay away from like actual anatomical parts, because some people lose them and don't have them for one reason or another. I know when I was a kid, I had one friend and he was born without 2 fingers, so he only had 3 fingers on the one hand. He never had them to begin with, so everyone's a little bit different with that. So this isn't a Okapi, that animal there. It's spelled O-K-A-P-I. I just found it interesting. You do not have to know about the Okapi, but it's kind of like a morph between a giraffe and a zebra. No, it is not, in the wild. Once a giraffe meets a zebra, they mate and they make an Okapi. No, it's not like that. This is its own species. Now, it probably does have, if we go back in time, some common ancestors similar to the giraffe and similar to the zebra. But anyway, biologists, they have identified over 1.5 million species already on Earth. And with identifying all these species, we found some things that are common to every single one of these species. So it doesn't matter if it's a very small bacteria or if it's a human being. All these different organisms are going to share these things. So to start off, the first one, every single living organism, no matter how big or how small, it's going to contain DNA, and that's a genetic code. That is what tells us everything about us. That tells us why our hair is a certain color, why we have 5 fingers. It tells us our eye color, everything about us, our face shape. So DNA is pretty much the instructions for everything in your body. And again, all organisms, no matter what species it is, has DNA. Second one is all these organisms contain cells. So every organism is made up of at least one cell. And all of these cells contain a cell membrane. It's just like an outer shell. Think of it like this, guys. If you have a balloon, the outside of that balloon would be the cell membrane. And then all the contents, which is just air, that's the inside of the balloon, or the inside of the cell. So every single organism, their cells are going to have a cell membrane. Inside of the cell membrane, which is unlike the balloon, balloons have air on the inside, obviously, but the inside is going to have a gel-like substance, and we're going to call this cytoplasm. And I know you guys have been taught cytoplasm for a while now. So ever since you started science, they've been talking about this jelly-like material, and it is. We talked about organelles last time, and those organelles are suspended or held in place by the cytoplasm. So it's almost like, it's kind of gross. I hate this dessert. But if you guys, when you're, at a family picnic or whatever, you always have that one family member that brings the Jell-O mold. And Jell-O alone, I'm cool with. I'll eat Jell-O. But some family members will put the fruit in the Jell-O. So there's like all this fruit. So, you take a spoonful of Jell-O and it's like, oh, Jell-O. And then all of a sudden you get a, crunch because there's fruit inside. I don't like that. But the Jell-O mold with the fruit is a perfect example of what the cell looks like. The Jell-O portion of the mold is your cytoplasm, and all those little fruit pieces inside, those are the different organelles that keep the cell working. So that's number 3. Now, we have a jelly donut here, and the frosting looks amazing. I'm not a big fan of jelly donuts, but you can see there's a little bit of jelly coming out there from when they fill it. But anyway, so if we were to look at this picture, our frosting and our outside of our donut, that's going to represent the cell membrane, okay? I'm just trying to give you guys more examples of it. So what would happen if we don't have a cell membrane? If the cell membrane breaks or just isn't there? Well, right there, right? It's like when you take a bite out of a donut, all the jelly is going to, oh, that's a nice sound effect right there, ooze out. Same thing here, okay? If we don't have a cell membrane, all that cytoplasm is going to ooze out. And the last one, so we went through 3 already. They're all going to have DNA. They're all going to have a cell membrane. They're all going to have cytoplasm. And the last one, number 4, they're all going to contain ribosomes. And what ribosomes do is they make proteins, okay? Proteins for your body, guys, these are going to be kind of like the act from the instructions. Let me put it real simply here. DNA has the instructions. DNA takes those instructions, forms them into a protein, and that protein can act on whatever it needs to do, okay? It's almost like if you guys have ever built anything in your life, okay? I'll just say a bicycle, because I used to work at a sporting goods store and I used to have to build bicycles, and they were a pain in the butt to build. But they came in a box, unassembled, and I had to assemble them, right? I had the instructions on how to assemble the bike. I had all the pieces in order to make the bike, but alone, non-assembled, the bike couldn't do anything. So the instructions helped me to put the bike together, and then that bike was like the protein. We could ride it and do whatever we wanted, you know, with it. So those are your 4 things, guys. Those are common to every living thing. Every living thing has those 4 things. Again, they have DNA, they have a cell membrane, they have cytoplasm, and they have ribosomes. There's your 4, okay? So make sure you guys know those. Your book then goes into domains of life. I'm not going to dwell on this. There's 3 domains of life, guys. There's bacteria down here. There's archaea, and then up here, eukaryotes, or you'll see the book use the word eukarya, all right? So these are the 3 domains. And what a domain is just a really broad group. And eukarya, archaea, and bacteria are 3 groups that separate every single living species. So every living species is going to be in one of these groups based on what it is, what it looks like, and what it does, okay? You guys are eukarya. We are animals, so we are in the eukarya group. Reason being, we have eukaryotic cells, and we'll talk about that later on. But there's also archaea, which if you've ever seen like Yellowstone National Park, all the hot springs in there and the geysers, archaea live in those. They're very, really good at surviving in harsh environments. And then bacteria. You guys have heard of bacteria. They're all over your skin. They're in your body. They're everywhere. So. And there's another picture of the 3 domains again, guys: bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Okay, so ecology. Your book then goes into a different study in biology. So biology, again, guys, study of life. Ecology is a study of how organisms act with others in their specific environment. So ecology, most of the time, they're going to study ecosystems, which are communities of tons of different species living together, okay? Now, if one organism in this community dies, then it's going to affect all the other organisms in some way or another. Let's look at this example here, okay? We're going to have some animals that are going to eat the grass, or, you know, you guys can see the fishes in the pond there, but some organisms are going to eat the grass, all right? Let's just say the deer is going to eat the grass, all right? Deer's chomping on some grass there. If the grass dies, and let's say there's a huge fire or whatever, well, the deer's going to move on, or it's going to, if it stays there, it's going to die because it's going to run out of food, okay? Then whatever eats the deer is also going to die, because if the deer leave or the deer dies, then any organism that eats the deer is also going to die, okay? Here's a good example of an ecosystem right here. There's the seal going into the great white's mouth, and yeah, that's one organism eating another. Sorry, that's grim a little bit. Another one here, we have zebras and lions, right? Zebras are vicious. They are vicious, vicious animals, okay? A lot of times when hunting is very dangerous for lions. The lion will try to attack the zebra and get kicked right in the face, and they're probably going to die in the long run. which really sucks for the lion, right? So some lions have found that, okay, I need to attack the zebra from the side so it can't kick me. But the zebra's tried to buck its back legs up and kick the lion however it can. So another one, the lion's just trying to eat the zebra, obviously. But, if the lions all die from the zebras, then we're going to have tons of zebras all around, All right. A little bit of scientific method today, guys. We're just going to go through a little bit of it. I'm going to start an example today, and then I'm going to finish the example tomorrow, just because I like to leave you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger here for this. I use the acronym O Quit Hatin', Everyone Drinks Coke. I don't know. I made it up like 8 years ago when I was teaching, and it seemed to work. So we're going to go over the scientific method. This is my acronym, O Quit Hatin'. O is the observation, Q is question, H is the hypothesis, E for everyone is the experiment, the D for drinks is going to be your discussion or your results, and then the C, the last part, is going to be your conclusion. So anytime, guys, we start off with an observation, you make observations every single day. You don't even know you do them because you do them so often. It's just receiving anything using our senses, okay? I know when we get back to school, you'll be walking down the hallway and you'll be like, oh, I smell something. Oh, cafeteria might be making buffalo chicken dip today, So you just made an observation. Oh, I smell something. You made it through your nose, okay? And then you came up with a hypothesis, which is going to be our next thing. Oh, hey, cafeteria is making buffalo chicken dip today, But you could be completely wrong with your hypothesis too. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they were just making spicy chili or something like that, and it happened to smell the same. I know, chili don't smell like buffalo chicken dip, right? But anyway, so first thing is make an observation. Second part, we're going to ask a question, okay? So you did that. When you made your observation about the buffalo chicken dip, you asked a question without even knowing you did it. Oh, I smell something. Okay, in your mind, you were like, I wonder if it's buffalo chicken dip. You did that question right away. Or you could even say, I bet it's buffalo chicken dip. It's like a hypothesis and a question all in one in that scenario. But you ask a question because you're wondering what's going on. All right. After that, you make a hypothesis. So a hypothesis, we have to be able to test it. Let's still do the buffalo chicken dip example. Okay. You always want to write your hypothesis in if-then format. All right. So for the buffalo chicken dip example, if that air smells like that, then I bet the cafeteria is making buffalo chicken dip. Okay, pretty simple. But a hypothesis has to be testable. You have to be able to test it. If it can't be tested, you can't do an experiment on it, and it's not part of the scientific method. So, all right, let me show you guys a little video here real quick. And we're not going to watch the whole video. We're just going to watch a little bit of it.
There's a remote part of Asia where prehistoric monsters still rule. These ferocious predators are so powerful they kill creatures 10 times their size. Maybe the buffalo senses it's being watched. The real-life monster makes its move. We call this animal the Komodo dragon. It drools with anticipation. The buffalo escapes, but the dragon's job is done. It needs just one bite to kill.
Okay, here's your cliffhanger for the day, guys. So with this, I said we're going to watch half of the video, and then we'll watch the other half tomorrow, okay? Reason being is I like to leave you guys on a nice cliffhanger, and it gives you time to think about it, what the Komodo dragon actually does. So with the video, guys, if we're making an observation on this video, okay, make an observation on what's going on in the video. Don't make an observation on just like what you see. You want to make sure, you know, there's a plot to every video. You want to make sure you're kind of focusing on that plot. All right. So I know like every year I ask students, make an observation. Oh, the Komodo is fast. Yes, the Komodo is fast. The Komodo is a lizard-like creature. Yes, it is. Okay. Here's the observation you want to make. Okay. So at the end of the video, or where I cut it, it said that the Komodo already did its job on the buffalo. It only takes one bite to kill. That's your observation, okay? Oh, the Komodo can kill the buffalo with one bite, okay? Your question for that one should be, well, how the heck does it do it? Sorry, my English is horrible. How does it do it? How does the Komodo kill the buffalo in one bite? All right. You guys then can make some kind of hypothesis. All right. You could think about these on your own. Well, if the Komodo kills the buffalo in one bite, then it has venom like a snake. Okay. That could be a hypothesis, and we could test that to see if a Komodo has venom in the experiment. Okay. So that's all for today, guys. We'll pick up tomorrow. We'll do the experiment portion, the results and discussion, and then we'll do the conclusion part. All right, guys, have a good day.